Hello, Aquarius. How are you? Happy me. Welcome to or welcome back to Marie and K Tarot. This is going to be a reading for you, the sign of Aquarius, whether it's your sun, your moon, your ascendant, your Venus, your Mars, your wherever. Or if you're just maybe involved in Aquarius and you just don't know what to do. Welcome. This month we are going to be we're going to be pulling an oracle card from the Sacred Symbols Oracle deck by Marcella Kroll. And I'm loving using that, Aquarius. It's really nice. It's very quirky. A bit like you. We're going to be also using the main tarot, which is a very pink, a very plastic, it's plastic deck, a very holographically shiny version of the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith. Okay, so I apologise in advance if it makes you think, what are you doing, Marion? Okay, so you're here. You're a nice wee purple fairy this month. Purple fairy. Fairy angel. No, that's a fairy. A wee purple fairy. God, that sounded really Scottish there, didn't I? Well, I'm Scottish, but you know what I mean. Really Scottish. Let's go then, Aquarius. Give a card, please, for Aquarius for May 2025, please. Let me see. Those just popped into my head, Aquarius, as I was shuffling these cards. I found Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, the Gene Wilder version. I don't know, maybe it's the purple in that fairy's dress that's reminding me his purple velvet jacket, coat, and that. I don't know, but if it means anything to you, do pop it in the description box. No, the description box. The comments box if you've got anything to say about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Or maybe I just really bought a bit of chocolate. I don't know. Right. Serious. Let's go. Okay. Purple. We're all about the purple today. It would seem, Aquarius, growth. Now I'm hoping this is growth in the spiritual sense as opposed to growth as in a wee nasty thing that needs to be chopped off somewhere. What am I saying? Aquarius, help me. Words are hard today. I don't know what's going on. There is certainly a feeling of you're entering into this spiral of growth, or you may feel like you're spiraling out of control because of Pluto having now permanently taken up residence in your sign for the next however long, decade and a half, something like that. And you're like, and some of you are like, fuck, what does this mean? This, and I think it's like, a lot of people, like tarot card readers, astrologers, whatever person works in the divinatory arts that you follow. I often think that when they say, well, this is a period of growth and it's a period of expansion, that just means that things are going to get really shit for a while. It's like, because growth does not happen in comfort. Growth happens in discomfort, Aquarius, as I'm sure you know, being traditionally ruled by Saturn and your modern ruler Uranus. Currently still residing in Taurus, but not for much longer. In a few months' time, it will start to move into Gemini. And I think when you feel that energy moving into Gemini, I think you'll start to feel a bit better. And it will counteract slightly the feelings of Pluto. Not completely. I mean, let's not sugarcoat this, Aquarius. It's not going to make everything all wonderful, perfect, and everything in the garden rosy. Or everything in the spaceship rosy. I don't know. It's you, and anything could happen. But what I feel like is it's very much this. Yeah, things have either been tougher. They're going to get pretty gnarly. Okay, but you can handle it, and that's the thing. um, Aquarius, I truly believe the universe does not give us anything that we cannot handle. Maybe it feels like we can't, maybe it feels like we can't go on, etc., etc. But there's always a solution, and sometimes it could just be let go and be free. Just be free. Lean into your Uranus energy, and just be free. Now, let us get into the tarot proper, Aquarius, and we'll see what's occurring for Aquarius for May 2025, please. Let's see. I'm going to take them. Do you know what, Aquarius? I'm going to take them because they all landed face down. Let's see what we've got. Get the Queen of Wands. Hi. Get the Five of Cups. Get the Eight of Wands. We get the Four of Wands, like this. And two final cards, please, for Aquarius. Right. I'm not going to take them because they flipped. Right. But if they come out, then, I've noted what ones they are. So if they come out again, then they definitely want to speak to us. Right. So just deck is slippery as anything. Right, okay, so he definitely wanted to come out. The Six of Swords. And one more. And then you wanted to come out again, right? Okay. At the bottom of the deck, Aquarius, we have got the Eight of Pentacles, right? Now, Libra. Was it Libra? Was it Libra that get that card? Oh, I can't remember. I've been doing so many today. I've been doing so many readings, both private clients and recordings, and I'm just like, that way you just start imagining things. Well, I don't know if you ever imagine things, Aquarius. Well, the Aquariuses that I've known in my life tended to imagine things, but we'll maybe not necessarily talk about that. Let's see. Right. Okay, we can see everything here. Okay, so opening gambit, Aquarius. You clearly wanted to show up for yourself. That's the notion that I'm getting. Now, there is a sense of disappointment here. There is a sense of oh so near and yet so far. That's the phrase that's coming through to me. And I feel like there has been a time where you were so close to achieving something, Aquarius. And I think for some of you, you actually did achieve it. Okay, you achieved your goal. You made a plan. You executed a plan, and then when you got the desired outcome, you suddenly had this realization that in actual fact, it was not what you wanted. Okay, it was like you had this passion project, and it just fell short. It fell short of what you were wanting, and you were so determined, Aquarius. You were so determined to think, right, this is going to work, this is going to happen. And it very much did happen. But it just was not, you were just like, oh no. And I don't know if it's because you maybe invested too much of yourself into it, or you allowed others to weave the narrative of this project, and that resulted in it happening too fast. Even though, for a fixed sign, Aquarius, you're probably, I'd say, you're one of the faster, you're probably the fastest fixed sign. But even for you, this project, it just went past the speed of light, and it was just too much, and it resulted in you feeling like you had lost control. And if anything binds the fixed signs together more than anything else, it's our need to feel in control. Okay, it's like our life purpose. It's like our lifeblood. We must feel that we've got a semblance of control. Even you, Aquarius, who loves to be in that Uranian energy, and let's expect the unexpected. There's still a kind of there's still a calculated risk factor. It might look to other people like, oh my god, what does Aquarius think about? That's nuts. That's crazy. But you still have a semblance of a plan, and you still have like some kind of security around it. But whatever happened here, it's just been like, no, thank you, nope, 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 nope. And I think in the month of May, right. Here's the thing, right? Now I'm going to be quite specific here, right? And you can take this, change the characters, change the situation, etc. But this is what it feels like to me. Okay, it feels like there was a marriage. Now, however that shows up, right? Or a committed relationship of some kind. And it just went too quickly. It's almost like you agreed to have maybe an exclusive partnership with somebody, right? And it went really, really quickly. And before you knew where it was, you were getting hurtled along in this tidal wave, and you couldn't stop it. It was like you were like a passenger in your own life. And there was this like kind of whether that was a wedding or celebration, etc. And you went along with it. It was like you played your part very well, because there was this need to please others. You were putting others in front of yourself. You were leaning into that kind of what you believed was the humanitarian side of you, but in actual fact it was like a deep sense of people pleasing, or people pleasing stroke, I don't want to be seen as a bad guy here, you know, and you didn't want to shoulder the disappointment of other folk in your life. Now, whether that was family, whether it was friends, whether it was work colleagues, whether it was a business partner, whether it was a romantic partner, it's like you were shoehorned into this situation, and you were just like, oh, hell no. I cannot do it. And the reason I'm feeling like it's for quite a few of you, it's maybe a romantic situations, because this is Venus in Aries. And Venus is as I'm recording this, Venus is just moving back in Aries. But Venus has previously been in Aries like in March. So it might well be that this is like the culmination of something that happened or started in March. And you're now like, I need to go. You know, I need to take my swords, and I just need to get out of here. And this is Mercury and Aquarius, the Six of Swords. With that being said, it doesn't necessarily need to be a physical moving away. Highly likely that it is, but there's more like this intellectual detachment that's happening. And this pursuit to go and find intellectual stimulation elsewhere. Now take that whatever way you want, interpret that whatever way you want, Aquarius. I'm sure those who this affects profoundly will understand my meaning when I say that. Because it's like you just want to be yourself. You just want to be on your throne. You just want to, because that's you. The King of Swords is Aquarius. You just want to be in that happy place again, where your thoughts are your own, where your feelings are your own, if you even bother to drop down into your heart. But you do. You're one of the most obsessively devoted people. You know, it's like, and you've probably heard me saying this before, but it's like when an Aquarius loves, you love with all of your heart and your soul. You love with everything that you have got. There is no half measures with you, Aquarius. And I don't think people understand that about you. But this month there's a very clear individual storyline going on where one person, if you look at directionality here, right, you've got the Queen of Wands and she's looking at the diagonal. You know, she's and it's no gender specific, it's like it's the energy. So it's this really powerful feminine energy and it's looking towards you. So she's fire, you're air, but you're not paying any attention or you're looking out. You're looking forward to what it is you've got going on now because you've managed to get yourself out of this situation, or you will be getting yourself out of this situation. Now, the Queen of Wands traditionally um, is a card of Aries. So again, the planets that are moving in Aries, the planets that are in Aries, like right now, Neptune's in Aries, Venus is in Aries, Mercury's still in Aries, so over the course of May, there's a lot going on in that. And whilst it doesn't directly, there's not really any kind of difficult aspects between yourself and Aries, it there is this energy that's going around for the collective that can feel like it can have an impact on you. And it's been hard work, and it will take hard work, it will take diligence. It's not just going to be, it feels like there is somebody who is very determined, shall we say, Aquarius. There's a very determined energy, and it's almost like if you try to get away or if you have detached, the other part is almost going to be like, well, how dare you? How dare Aquarius do that to me? It's very much the don't you know who I am sort of energy, and so I just want you to be mindful of that this month, Aquarius. You didn't want to do it. You found yourself in a situation where it was not conducive for you. But then, because remember, right, this is a 4. This isn't a 10. This 4 isn't a number of completion. 4 is a number of structure. So yeah, there was a structured, balanced situation going on, but it was too balanced, and it almost feels like it was just too. It seemed too good to be true, and that sort of freaked you out, Aquarius. And by the same regard, it could have been, the thing or the one for right now, but you just were not feeling it, and that's perfectly valid. Okay, Aquarius, I think that keep facing forward, keep listening to you, take on board an advice for others, but ultimately you know yourself best and you know your heart best. Okay, Aquarius, so that's where it is. That's what's happening in the month of May for you. And I hope you're all right. Hope you go over it. You'll be fine. Honestly, Aquarius, you'll be fine. I promise. If you would like to work with me, the links are in the description box below. And if you fancy subscribing, I'd love that. Thank you. And I will speak to you in June. Okay, lots of love, Aquarius. Bye.